Hi! Welcome to this part of my review featuring Violet Sky. If you haven't seen the other parts of my review featuring this Post-Apocaweird role-playing game, please check out the playlist in the description below. This time we are going to talk about the rest of the character vocations. But before that, I would like to talk about this channel's sponsor, Heroes and Hardships. This is a universal RPG system, allowing you to play any sort of campaign, scenario, theme, genre. You can also create any sort of character that you can imagine. You have hundreds of tools to accomplish that. I'm going to put a few links in the description that will take you to the Kickstarter that should begin in about a month or so. There are also going to be links to the website, to the Discord, to the Tetsubo section of the website, which is an upcoming setting for this RPG. And I'm also going to put links to my reviews of the Quickstart guide and the Wallace campaign setting based on the life and exploits of William Wallace. So please check it out. Now let's continue. We begin with the soldier. Every settlement needs some. Armed to the tip, they are killing machines that guard those that need protection and those that pay them. Mercenaries, guards, strike teams, these are all soldiers. However, there are also soldiers that fight for their own causes, for their own personal objectives, dreams, and hopes. When it comes to equipment, you begin with things such as the trash automatic rifle, the shrapnel grenade, and some rations. When it comes to soldier choices, what was your role in the team? Perhaps you were an assault soldier. You fought on the front lines, charging at the enemy and doing as much carnage as possible before the main force would enter. You start out with a small axe. Or maybe you were heavy support. You were carrying heavy weapons, prepared for the heaviest foes. You begin with a flamethrower and a mini canister. When it comes to tricks, you have things such as all-on assault. If you use the desperation with your attack check, that attack also gets 1d4 to damage. There is also hardcore, giving you a bonus to stamina points. When it comes to story question, who did you kill for and who did you kill? Then we have the Techno-Barbarian. After the civilizations fell, the Techno-Barbarians came as the first rulers of the wastelands, armed with guns, riding in massive vehicles and clad in cybernetic armor. These savages quickly conquered many lands in the name of their weird pagan gods that suddenly appeared after the apocalypse. You begin with things such as the mega axe and the bucket helmet. When it comes to choices, which clan are you part of? Maybe you belong to the Neons. Neons follow the god Perun. They love bright lights and big guns. You start out with a rusty minigun and also an LED strip. Maybe you belong to the Painters. Painters follow the goddess Freya. They strongly believe in magic and they paint their whole bodies in protective runes. You start out with a can of sacred body paint. When it comes to tricks, you have things such as Rage. Whenever you lose stamina due to an opponent's attack, you get a Rage token. Each Rage token increases the damage that you deal, but you burn all Rage tokens you have when combat ends. There is also Destruction. You can spend an invention token at any time to shred apart or bend an object that is not harder than steel and is not bigger than you. When it comes to story question, why are you so far away from your clan right now? Next we have the trader. Some of them own caravans, others shops, and some just travel alone from settlement to settlement, trying to sell their wares. No matter how many apocalypses will struck the earth and how much humans will change, there will always be a need for people who can get the right stuff and then sell it for the right price. You begin with things such as a shotgun and a calculator. When it comes to choices, what do you mostly trade? Perhaps killing tools. Hard times require bigger guns. You have 3 pistols in your backpack. Maybe you deal in food. People will always need food, so you start out with 3 cans of mystery meat and 3 bottles of wine. When it comes to tricks, you have things such as barter. You get a bonus whenever you try to argue with someone to get a better deal or offer. You also have partners. Choose one hireling type from the hireling table. You know a person who does that job. You always have a way to contact them, and you can hire them for half the price. Whenever your power level increases, you get a new partner that you met between sessions. Your story question is, how did your business start? Next we have the Warlock. Warlock are people who were born radiated with the violet energy from the Reptile planet. They are simply humans gifted with magic from birth. If left uncontrolled, Warlocks quickly gain a lot of power and influence. They become leaders, powerful advisors, or solitary demigods in their own domain. You start out with things such as a reptile artifact and clothes ornamented with weird stuff. When it comes to choices, how did you use your magic before breaking free? Perhaps you were a local witch or shaman. You lived on the frontiers of a settlement, helping the people with your weird tricks in any way that you could. In return, they didn't kill you. You start out with an electric self-heating pot and ointments. Maybe you were a battle warlock. You served some self-proclaimed emperor, and you fought on the front lines, blasting spells at his enemies. You start out with a runic blade. When it comes to tricks, you have Warlock magic. You start with 2 simple spells of your choice. Whenever a Warlock's power level increases, they may learn 3 new spells. You also have Spooky Magician. You get a bonus when trying to intimidate someone with spells, alien artifacts, or just by being weird. Your story question is, who taught you how to use your magic correctly? And where are they now? And this concludes this part of the review. In the next part we are going to talk about gifts and other character details. It is clear that the soldier and the Techno-Barbarian are the sort of individuals that you want on the front lines. The soldier is a bit more consistent, slightly more defensive. You still get to deal a lot of damage when fighting up close or at range, but the Techno-Barbarian feels more like a wild card. But when the Techno-Barbarian rages, he surpasses all expectations in terms of damage dealing and breaking objects or structures. When it comes to the trader, this is a very versatile vocation, more suited for dealing with settlers and non-player characters that don't want to kill you right away. You can obtain many things in exchange for not being as skilled in combat when compared to other vocations. When it comes to the Warlock, this is a powerhouse. As long as you are able to work your magic, you are unstoppable. But in other areas of expertise such as close quarters combat or other non-magical utility applications or tasks, then you are a bit lacking in that regard. Thank you for watching this part of the review and for your likes and comments. If you have questions or comments, please let me know. And thank you so much to those of you that are going the extra mile to support the channel. If anyone else wishes to further support the channel, you can send an Amazon gift card or a drive-thru RPG gift certificate. The information on how to do that will be in the description below. Once again, thank you and see you later.